Hi there, Sarah here. I'm going to show you how to use a terracotta, also known as a clay cooker today. In this video, I'm going to show you how to roast a whole chicken and then how to bake a loaf of bread in this. I'm using timestamps, so feel free to skip around. I processed this 1-year-old rooster back in July, and until yesterday he's been in the freezer. This has been thawing out in my fridge for the past day or day and a half. It's still not totally thawed, but we can work with it. Now that I've been raising rabbits for a while, I am just not that impressed with chickens anymore, because even at a year old, this chicken is only 3.5 pounds. If this were a 1-year-old whole rabbit, I'd be looking at closer to 6 to 8 pounds. Anyway, before you use your terracotta cooker, make sure that you are soaking it in cool water for about 10 to 15 minutes. Never put one of these in the oven when it's dry because it will crack on you. I thought my sink was a lot cleaner than this. I swear my kitchen looks 50% dirtier when the camera comes out. It's pretty interesting to watch the bubbles come up out of the clay. To make this into an easy one-pot meal, I'm adding in onions, carrots, potatoes, plus some garlic powder and paprika with red pepper flakes. Obviously, if you have fresh garlic or fresh bell peppers, use that instead. And not pictured but also added is some Italian seasoning. I've had several people pin down exactly where I'm from by the way I said that last spice. Oh, the joys of processing your own chicken without a plucker. These are not hairs, they are pin feathers. Pull them and then pretend they weren't there. Well, it was a little bit of a trick, but we got all of it to fit in here. I went a little heavy on the veggies, but that's okay because we will definitely eat all of those. And now it's time to put the lid on, which as you can see, it is still wet from soaking. Here's secret number 2 to using a clay cooker. Always, always, always put it into a cold oven. Putting it into an already warm oven will make it crack. This will bake at 425 for 90 minutes. While that's baking, I'm gonna make myself busy out here at the greenhouse, putting in a footpath. I'm gonna have a 3-foot wide and 40-foot long raised bed at the very front of the greenhouse here. So I'm making a simple little cobblestone path to go all down the front of that. We'll insulate the back of the greenhouse and beneath the tin, and the front of the greenhouse, which is oriented towards winter solstice, is going to have poly. Alright, it's been 90 minutes, the chicken is finished, it's time to take it out of the oven. When you take your clay cooker out of the oven, set it on a towel, oven mitts, or a wooden cutting board. That should keep it from cracking, and if you leave your lid on there, it will continue to cook even outside of the oven. So keep that in mind. And now that the house smells incredible, it is finally time to eat. Despite this being a mean old leghorn rooster, it turned out very soft and tender. The skin of it crisped up perfectly, but the inside was surprisingly moist and tender. I would definitely call this a win. And now I'll show you how to bake a very modest loaf of bread using your clay cooker. Now I didn't plan this out correctly. We had baked chicken one day and the bread the next, but it's very doable for you to bake the bread first and then bake the chicken second, and honestly your bread would probably be at the perfect slicing temperature by the time that 90 minutes has elapsed for your chicken. A little bit of planning could really cut down on your dishes that way. I let the terracotta soak for 15 minutes, added in my bread, and then I got the bright idea to let it soak a little bit longer in hot water. I did not get the bottom part wet on the inside during that second soak with the bread in it, but the heat from the water did seem to help it rise up just a little bit. I did not preheat my oven and I let it bake at 425 for a half hour. I don't make very aesthetically pleasing loaves of bread, but boy are they good. Here is your chance to either take a screenshot or write down some notes about your clay cooker. And I'm also going to give you a quick list of some of the very best foods to make in your new terracotta cooker. I am really looking forward to making ratatouille in this because so far I've only used a crock pot and I'm excited for something different. If you have any tips or advice for using a clay cooker, please leave those in the comments below. And if you want that bread recipe, I'm going to leave that here. And if that doesn't interest you, maybe check out the greenhouse. Thanks for letting me talk at you. Bye.